Oh my goodness, the power pack is busted. Well, that's, I guess, what you get for painting it, but it's okay. I have spares. I got to get to the bottom, see what's going on here. This is being replicated right now up here. Obviously, it's going to be drying in the sun. Have a nice little 50-50 mix of some glue and water. And when the sun beats down on that and lets it evaporate, as the natural course of action does, we will have another load that looks like that. And if that car can handle a load, then finish the sentence. Anyways, today's Magazine Monday. Welcome. We have February 1992, a model railroader and railroad model craftsman. We're going to get through this quite quick. I have all this extra crapola on the desk, and the Magazine Monday table is somewhere else off in screwed up land. All right, GN3 Colorado Western. Totes faves. Love this. Look at this guy. What is that? Is that a train? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of it and see if it is a train. Here we go. Boopity boppity boop. A little bit of Atlas. Trek. Jutalo. All right. More stuff. Hardwood display case. I love how back in the day there was just, it was like almost like a newspaper for model railroading. You had the railway post office. Like, fantastic. A work of art. I'm, of course, referring to your comparable December article, the 1947 Empire Builder. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. LGB. Whatever that means now. Coming next month. What is coming next month? I don't know. If you're married, it probably will always be next month. Here we go. This is a good one. Athern. Love it. Got the spine cars right here. I have a 10-pack, but these are the 5-packs. I think the fuel foilers were one of my favorites, though. Totes faves. Look at that. You could even purchase all the trailers for them, too. Good stuff there, Athern. You guys don't do any of these U-boats anymore. I'm curious, Athern. Why don't you do the U-boats? You do the F units. Why not the U-boats? Is it because the nose on the U-boats are a little too wide? Seems to be the ongoing theme. Look at that. Nice little FP45. Why is it an FP45? Because it stands for passenger, and it has the little passenger steam generator on the back. Well done, guys. Isn't that cool? Blue box units. And then once again, 28B, U28B. Wait, is this a 30? No, it should be a 28. Why does that say U30? U28s had the raised elevated. This is ridiculous. This must be wrong. Because this is the 28B. U30, I guess, had the elevated top on it? Huh. Intriguing. And then you had the 33s with the overhang. Kind of like a pre-version of a Dash 9. Then obviously the old school Athearn SD7s, which the nose was too wide because the cab was too wide. The whole body was too wide because of the old school motors. And then when they went to the new motors, we all know, Bachmann! When they went to the new motors, they just kept the tooling and still stayed with that super wide body, which is not prototypical for all you prototypical modelers. That is so cool. One has got to love the love of the intermodal game. Look at back in the day, the intermodal game. Look at this. You could get a 3-pack for $27. Obviously, inflation, blah, 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 blah. Walters, we still love you, bro. Look at this, the Olympiad. Go Olympics, yay for us. And we will continue. I love these things. Whenever I see a comic in these things, I always want to read them. What does it say? Please, just 3 more scale hours. That's hilarious. All right, moving on like a herd of turtles. Hippity-skippity articles, light article. What is that? Oh, incandescent bulbs. Yeah, that's cool. Look at that. Gives you the HO and N traffic signals. Man, that was micro detailing back in the day. Now it's just normal. Ooh, let's see what this comic is. Value days. Spikes, screws, coupler springs, bells, horns, figures, washers, lichen, gears, grab irons, dirt crumbs, dog hair. That's actually funny. So funny. My wife has always been like, I don't want to vacuum in. Well, now I have the garage, but back in the day when I had my office and I did all my model railroading in there, I don't want to vacuum. I don't want to accidentally pick up a detail part. Got my lady trained. No, I'm kidding, but really I do. Look at this. Old school G scale, where you didn't worry too much about the authenticity of how prototypical it was, but moreover, do we have a vehicle that represents that prototypical look? I love this old school diesel engine with the driver on it. Look at that. Hi everybody, this is my layout. I got a really big bridge. And we continue. This is a really good design though. You know, I call these things a spaghetti bowl, but when you got a G-scale layout indoors, of course it's going to be a spaghetti bowl. But really cool. And you can tell there's a lot of attention to detail. And once again, there's our locomotive with a little diesel switcher right there. Look at that guy. Little four-wheeled snuggle bug. Gotta love it. This is a great shot. Love that. Boom bombastic. Really like that. Is that a Shay? It is a Shay. Ooh. That's really cool. Always gotta love how G-Scale has the opportunity to kind of really gear things in a different way. I like this. Look at this nice little bridge, and below it, we're gonna hit the cliff. But much like the Mahalo Bay, over there, you gotta have the cliff. On a smaller scale, here we go. Boom, bang-a-rang, the St. Lawrence Atlantic Railroad. CVCN. Conrail, that's for you, Evs. It's not really Conrail, but you gotta love this lash up. You got a GP7, SW, or maybe that's an MP15 DC. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's gotta be an MP15. Let's close up. Yeah, MP15 DC. If it was an AC, it'd have that nice big grill on the side over there. Almost looks like a Jeep 15-1. Look at those things. Those are burly looking locos. And possibly an ex-Conrail Jeep 7 or Jeep 9, depending on if that turbocharged does the thing. Dynamic brakes are real, bro. Anyways, let us continue being awesome. Love the covered bridges. Something about East Coast railroading that I truly adore. All of the old school colonial architecture up there in the OG New England area. But then you have these massive factories that rise up out of nowhere. Look at this, an X M-Track SW1. That's got to be an SW1. It is. That has to be an X M-Track. Silver, black. Has the nice little porch right in front of the grill. Yeah, it's an SW1. It's got to be. Continuing on. Look at this shot, though. This is a really good take on it. Snow's falling down. Engines are covered in powder. Either that or somebody's got a huge drug habit. I beg the ladder. Look at that. Does that mean that's narrow gauge? Is that what that is? Let's look at the key. Where's the key? Where's the key? I don't see a key. Oh, well. Moving on. Look at that. Little historic railroad shot. And brick freight station. Let's see if we have it along the line here. Realistic scenery. I actually have this book. Do you have that book? I have that book. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Kato F7s. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. No along the line. Sad. Get yourself an MRC Tech something. It'll break soon. Or will it? Who knows? All right, let's go in here. Model Railroad Craftsman. Steel from the 90s. This is 96. Pretty cool. Got some steam on the front. Let's open it up. Buy more stuff. Buy our stuff. Love this setup. We got the best deals. I'm sure you do. Look at that. I remember when those came out. Look at that. This is a test product line of the new Athearn. Nope, it's Overland. Had me all worked up for that. But yeah, look at this. Overland 4 axles. And what are they? CF7s. Totes best. I think these are making a comeback. The CF7s, the GP7s. What is that? It's a Jeep 9. Ooh. Pensy. Cabless Jeep 9. Ooh. They called it a Jeep 9 Bizzle. And then a nice little Jeep set. Yeah, that's why. GP7. These are hard to tell the difference. You got to look for the turbo stuff, some of the markings, and then also just what they're rated for. And you got to watch out for the gloss from the camera. I really like this one. GP10 has this overhead radiator duct. Who knows, but we're venting downwards. That it's still going to go upwards. Thermodynamics, people. Thermodynamics. Love the Phase 3. There we go. Is that just the Phase 2? Okay. How can you tell the difference, Timmy? Well, because it says. But the Phase 3 and the Phase 2s look very much like the angled cabs. And then, well, this is interesting. They did do the Phase 1 where they put the radio antenna behind. But on the Phase 3s, it was in front. Like a giant dinner plate. Hors d'oeuvres. Yes, please. All right, any other articles in here that I'd like to look at? I don't know. The advertisement was more entertaining than that. Look at this. Rock Island's GP18. Speaking of 4-axle units. Rock Island's Mongrel. Hell yeah. Look at this guy. It's like a little pit bull. What do you need moved? Look at that. Just updating it, putting the little caps on them, getting rid of the dynamic brake column. Oh, obviously, did you cut that out and fill it in? What's going on here? Ooh, with a grizzle. Wow. Just so you know that there's a human hand there, we're doing this. Love it. Love that caboose. Is that a wood? Yeah. Steel frame, wood panel. Intriguing. And exterior framing, too. Aesthetically intriguing. Not pleasing, but intriguing. And then we have see-through walkways because it's not a model. But as you can see, Canada's 8-hatch ice refrigerator cars. That means there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hatches instead of your standard, if I could see any. Let's go to the Coors car. Let's consult the 4-hatch Coors car over there. Boom. Anyways, back to it, Milo. Let's go. There's your parts list. Let's go down it. A Lifelike Proto 2000 GP18. That's all. That's all you need. Hope you got a good look at that. Let's mobilize and franchise. I really like this unit. I really do. Good job. Shit hot. I like that there's a snow plow on either side. Got to have those snow plows. Cow catchers. Or chicken grinders. That is a really great picture of the CN old school ice. Why you're in Canada? Why do you even need refrigerators up there? Don't you guys just live in the tundra? That's why they call it the Great White North. Go ahead, Canada. Make fun of me. I'm making fun of you. All right. Let's keep on moving. There's a good design drawing of it. Let's go through it. Did they give us a parts list? Where's the parts list? I feel... There it is. Nope. Yes. Maybe. Service lives. Okay, this explains the numbers and stuff. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay. Kit bashed it. Sold it for more than it was worth. That's for you, Mr. Halpin. My buddy Neil, his dad always would say that. Yeah, I had one of those once. Kit bashed it. Sold it for more than it was worth. And there's your bill of materials for that little kit bash. And I think that's going to end our... No, it's not. Look at this. The New River and Pocahontas. Pocahontas. Good, I said that right. Otherwise, I would have got it wrong. Oopsie doodle, daisy doodle, daisy doodle. Look at that. So East Coast. So East Coast old school model railroading. Beautiful, beautiful layout. Great things. Love the attention to detail on this. Let's get into that. Look at that. This is 96 detail. This is pre-3D printed. I think that even lights up. That's an incandescent bulb. Ooh, Amtrak, I love it. S-gauge. Nice. That's something you don't see every day. Or anymore. Or at all. It's gone the way of the buffalo. Once again, Cornerstone series, Walthers. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. Look at that. I love these kits. Always loved what they did. They always look so good. The thing about these kits is they had a weight in the bottom. So the only time it looked realistic, you couldn't run them bare table. Bare table, obviously meaning containerless, where there's just no loads in it. They would call a bunch of flat cars that too. A bare table looks like just a bare table. Explanation is real. And then obviously, all Spectrum. I have a story about that, but I love how they show the gearing, the guts of the model, so you can actually see how it is better and well designed, and it's nice to the animals, and the animals have fun times, and we actually have flywheels now. Great model. First time I saw one of these run around the layout, Tom Grice. He got one of these, made it look amazing. Dremeled out all the fans and whatnot and replaced them with etched metal parts. The guy, Picasso of model railroading. But this I happened to see when I was picking up this magazine. This is the MK5000C, Morrison Knudsen. It's a Morrison Knudsen. And I'll tell you what, one of the coolest models in the world. If anybody owns one of these, please let me know. I'd like to talk about possibly purchasing it. Something about this model so cool. 5,000 horsepower, competing with GE and EMD. Kind of looks like an EMD unit, but Mariscalchi will chew you out about the type of trucks it had. But what was intriguing is instead of 3 fans, 2 fans, nope, it had 4. And then all the dynamic brakes. Kind of looked like the little red-headed stepchild of a SD70M, just with an extra fan, and somebody had a little bit too much fun drinking the growth hormone. Amazing looking unit. Large fuel tank in the middle. And Overland Models did a bang-up job representing it. Cool stuff. That's where we're going to leave you off. I hope you have a wonderful day. Other than that, be cool. Let's sign off with the Pasaki. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. And just remember, the most important signal you get is going to be your next one.